Simon Gersberg, the founder of Shot Quality, with us. The tournament, there's this rhetoric that the NCAA March Madness tournament, whatever, should expand. And I don't even get why we're talking about this and where it came from and what the point is. Can you help me out with why on earth expansion of this 68 team format would make any sense?
I couldn't tell you. I'm not part of the one that's arguing for it. So I would not have a good answer to it. So I'm not the man to ask, honestly. I don't even have a response. I'm responseless.
And that response is exactly what I needed. I needed someone who is an expert in the field to tell me it makes zero sense to expand this tournament, because I just don't see how it would be feasible. And to go on a quick aside, the first four has given us more upsets. It eliminates a couple 16 seeds. It means that a Howard won't be a 15 seed in the tournament. So I understand how that has benefited us, but I don't see how adding even more teams is going to. But I've also there are these talking heads who are leaning on this year's chalk as a reason to expand the tournament, which doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but I do want to go there. Why have we seen, especially compared to last year, such a relatively boring March Madness with so many higher seeds winning?
Yeah, it was definitely more of the round of 32 that felt a little bit more boring than typical. Like it was, as you said, more chalk. But obviously there were some great upsets in the early rounds. As the Duquesne game brought me a lot of pain. That was an awesome upset, unfortunately, for those listening to BYU fans. And the Oakland game was incredible. So there obviously were some like highlights. I understand like the general trend has this been more chalk, and my answer is kind of boring. But like honestly, I wouldn't peg it to anything but just variance. Like some years is going to be more just crazy upsets, and some years is just going to be more, this team, the better team just won. That's honestly what it feels more like. And the one thing that's like, I will say is like so difficult to quantify in March is the emotions of it. Like the nerves players feel when they get on the court. It's kind of what it felt like in the BYU game. Like you watch those guys the first 8 minutes. I don't think they scored a basket until like the 13-minute mark or something. Like it's just like there's certain like things that can't be quantified in March and won't be, to be honest. They just typically lead to more upsets, but not this year.
Do you see and I've heard many people make the case of like an Indiana State losing out of their conference tournament and not making it to March, or USF, kind of the same thing for them. Do you think if more of those teams that got upset in their respective conference tourneys were in this tournament, that we'd see more upsets? Is that the reason we're not getting enough parity?
If we got Indiana State, I think there would have been an upset because they were so freaking good. They were so good. You want to talk about a fun offense to watch? That was them. Man, I mean, they might win the NIT now. like they're obviously like, I don't know if those teams are trying in the NIT, but like it's no doubt that they were so good. I actually thought USF were a little bit fraudulent of a team. Yep. They were at some lucky metrics, but I could see if there's expanded and you have those mid-major teams in there that are as elite as the Indiana States. Yeah, no, they would make some noise.
Simon, before we get you out of here, help me. If somebody out there has not enjoyed this tournament as much because there isn't a St. Peter's, there wasn't a Fairleigh Dickinson, there wasn't a dominant 15 that came out of nowhere, help them love March Madness. What have you enjoyed about this tournament specifically?
It's a good question. Personally, I've enjoyed my bracket not being destroyed so far besides that BYU example. It's not looking too bad right now. The fact that it is chalk, maybe I'm just the type of person that does chalk in their bracket. I don't know. But no, I mean, there's less like bracket busters, which I think is a positive for a lot of the newbies that are just putting chalk out there. I think for me personally, that's what I am happy with this March, and as well, the fact that Creighton is still in it. If Creighton's still in it, they make it to the Final Four, that'll make me happy.
And the weird thing that I'm having to conceptualize here is those 15 seeds typically get blown out some point down the line. So what we've created is a much more competitive Sweet 16 and a much more competitive Elite 8. Now we're going to get the best teams in college basketball, and not that team that accidentally got there was a great story. So I think those rounds should live up to the hype, or at least that's the hope. And Simon, if folks want to follow along Shot Quality or learn more about what you do and what Shot Quality is doing, like when we first met 4 years ago, it was small potatoes to what it is today, and now it's blown up in multiple different spheres. Give me a bit about Shot Quality, where folks can find your stuff as we go into the Sweet 16.
Yeah, thank you, Drake. Yeah, main place to find is just shotqualitybets.com, which is like our consumer-based site where you can get access to picks, predictions, and the best feature that I use personally for my wagering is the live shot quality scores to see when teams are due for negative or positive regression, and then betting based off that. That's led to a lot of success for a lot of our customers this year. One of the bets yesterday, which that one actually would not have been a good bet, so I'm not even. It would be a bad one to suggest, but we had Baylor at halftime as a good shot quality bet. They did not cover. So if you want to check out shot quality scores, you're going to lose money. That's actually my pitch here.
That's good. I wish it would have worked out, Simon. Thanks for rubbing that one back in there. But sadly, Colgate couldn't quite shoot the lights out like the Bears did. So both of our teams suffered similar fates. That's Simon Gersberg. Simon, thanks for joining the show today.
Cheers, man. Thanks, Trey.
Hey, for everybody else out there, when Iowa State and Houston meet in the national championship, we'll be covering it the whole way right here on Locked On Big 12. Thanks for making it your first listen every single day. This has been and always will be. Find it wherever you get your podcast. Locked On. Hey, once again, thanks for making it your first listen every single day. Dose Grande.